Two, three, testing. um, hey. It was today. The wonderful thing about when you're on vacation is losing track of the days of the week. Let me turn it down. Um, anyway, welcome. Welcome, one and all. We are here today, and it is day 9 of my 25-day live journey. And if this is your first time here, if this is your first time watching, then this was inspired, so that you know, this was inspired by a video that I saw on Think Media, a podcast, and they were interviewing Michael Zuber, and Michael Zuber spoke about how he went straight for 50 days straight. I think it was in his second year, and it helped him with consistency and basically just showing up. So I decided I'm gonna try, but I decided I'm not going to do 50 days because that just sound very ambitious to me at the time. So I chose to do 25 days, and this is day 9, and I'm excited because it's not easy, especially while on vacation. And I feel like being on vacation, it actually is even more of a challenge because I had to remember, like just now, I was like, ooh, and especially the time difference. But anyway, we're here and I'm grateful. So today we're diving into something that sounds simple, but for people like me, it is a whole skill set. The art of doing nothing. And doing nothing and not feeling guilty about it, right? Because I've now learned that I have the right to do whatever I want when I want, and that includes absolutely nothing. You know, I will say that it's kind of like that moment when you finally sit down and your brain starts to scream, you could be doing this, or you should be doing that, or did you do this? And it's like, wait a second, stop. So that's what we're talking about today, because doing nothing doesn't come naturally to everyone, especially if you spent most of your life in go mode, like me. So let me tell you something. I actually learned how to master doing nothing years ago while vacationing in Jamaica. Back then, I wasn't on this self growth journey. I wasn't creating content. I wasn't on social media like I am now. I was just living. Back then, I would take the work laptop, forget about my personal laptop. I would take the work laptop with me everywhere that I went, whether it was to Europe or to the Caribbean or to my aunt's in Jersey. I would take the laptop with me everywhere. Do not ask me why. I act like it was what is that called? An ankle bracelet. I mean, like that the work computer used to go with me everywhere. I learned how to weed myself off of work and give them what they deserve, which was basically 9 to 5 or 9 to, depending on how busy it is at work. But I've learned how to disconnect. I've learned to basically be on vacation, even if I'm home. If I take a work day at home, a vacation day at home, I'm basically off. Period. I do not allow the apps to be on my phone because it's a distraction. Like you feel tethered to the company when the reality is healthy to basically disconnect. Anyway, while I was in Jamaica, one day I said to myself, it's almost as if like I made a commitment to myself that we are going to vacate, because the reality is when you're vacationing with people like me, they start to get in your ear like, my God, you can't put this down, put that down, no, you need to stop. And I'm like, but I need to do this and I need to do that. And in reality, I didn't need to do any of those things, because the reality is I paid my money to go on vacation. So why am I not vacationing? So I had to learn how to basically do nothing at all, right? I learned how to live. And what that looked like for me was I had to train myself to allow the work day to end. I had to train myself to basically be on vacation, right? I had to learn how to work during work hours and on my days off be off. The promise that I made kind of changed everything for me, because what they did, I remember that summer, I decided no phone, no planner, no guilt, just stillness. I learned how to become a beach bum, and it was wonderful. I got a nice tan. But that trip change everything for me, because that's when I realized that rest isn't laziness, it's actually maintenance. I think a lot of us get into our heads and we're thinking, oh, no, 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 I need to be on the go because I got to get this done. Because I don't know why we do that to ourselves, really. Like when I look back at it, I'm thinking like there was so much living that I didn't do because I chose to be doing too much. Even when, people who cared for me would tell me, you're doing too much. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I still got stuff to do. But, even though like back then I used to joke, even I think up until sometime this year, I used to say that I used to joke and say that I would rest when I die. Because people are like, you need rest. I mean, rest is for Sims. Like, I'll rest when I die. But the reality of it is, if I'm always on the go and if I'm always doing things that I'm not living, right? I'm basically going, going, going. And I actually used to act like I was close cousins to the Energizer Bunny. Go, go, go. Always doing something for somebody or, whatever have you. But a lot has changed. These days, because I was never really a napper per se, but these days, if I feel like taking a nap, I'm going to take a nap. And even if it's like 10 minutes, that 10 minutes does wonders for me because it's almost as if like my body just needs to shut down so that I can recharge and basically do more, right? So there are times when I still push through, right? I'll fall asleep with my laptop on my bed because I'm trying to get content done, content scheduled, or whatever have you. But I'm learning how to basically just disconnect. Sometimes I force myself to just close the laptop. I really don't. I mean, I use the phone to take pictures and record videos and create content, but that's it. I really do not scroll a lot on social media. I think I probably should. At least that's what I'm taught, that you're supposed to go and interact with people, but I'm working on that. Um, but yeah, the little pause resets everything. My energy, my creativity, my peace, everything. Rest isn't about being lazy. It's me taking care of my mind and my body before either of them send me a memo to say, girl, sit down. Because my body does that. My body be like, oh, okay, you don't want to do it voluntarily. I will make you do it. And it does. And I don't like that because that's when like I get sick. Like when I do too much and I go too far, I literally have to spend a day in bed, kind of like recharging, refueling, and basically like just getting back to health. So I try not to push myself beyond um, that point. um, Sometimes, like the reality is, after there are times when I had to learn how to rest because the guilt still followed me, right? So, there are times that like if I slept too late, and I don't really sleep late, but if I'm still sleeping at 8 o'clock, I'm like, oh my God, like the guilt. And it's like, calm down, right? Because those sneaky shoulds, like you should have done this and you should have done that and this and a third, those quiet whispers, like you should be working, you should be doing laundry, you should be calling someone back, like you should have posted that content, whatever, right? Those shows are peace thieves. Don't listen to them, because what you should do is what feels right to you, right? I used to let those things run my day, literally, right? But now when I hear one screaming in, I stop and I ask, but do I want to or do I need to? Because if I want to, then I'll do it. But if no, how would I say that then? If I want to, I'm not doing it. If I need to, then I will. But I realize that there are a lot of things that I think that I need to do that I really do not need to do. So I have learned how to not guilt myself into missing certain things. Like now, I'm on vacation, and I was looking forward to coming and doing my morning messages, and I didn't. I haven't, right? Because I wake up, I go for my walk on the beach, and that's where I usually do it. But when I wake up, I'm like, I really don't feel like doing it today, and I'm allowing myself to not do it. I might do it tomorrow. But the point is, sometimes I think that we have to do certain things and we don't. What I'm grateful for is I have, a friend or two, and my mom, who will say, let me know, like, you don't need to, or whatever have you. And so, therefore, I give myself permission to not, allow the whispers of the shoulds and not allow the guilt to basically determine how I run my day. So I'm learning how to basically answer to those whispers, no, go away. And just know that it's okay. I realize that I don't and don't I don't owe anyone any constant productivity. That's something that I learned when I stopped doing a lot of things for the church or a women's club that I was in, because I was really heavily involved. And during those times is when like I used to basically burn out, because I was really and truly like going and going and going. And people would say, Antonia, you gotta come to stop and whatever. But the reality of it is sometimes when we're doing things, we are enjoying it so much that we're really not looking at the fact that it's taking a toll. And so we're going, and sometimes it's like, you got to stop. Because guess what? The world isn't going to fall apart just because you decided to take a nap instead of folding towels. The guilt doesn't serve me anymore. And you will learn that it doesn't serve you either, right? What's funny is once I stopped feeling guilty about slowing down, something beautiful started to happen. The quieter I got, the more creative I became. Some of my best ideas come in silence when I'm doing absolutely nothing, like literally just sitting there doing nothing at all. A quote, a video topic, um, anything, right? A t-shirt, a t-shirt slogan, and they all show up in the quiet, because quiet time isn't wasted time; it's creative time, right? We introverts, like we are, like we're usually in quiet mode, and so therefore like we have a lot we have a lot of creative ideas coming in. I have to learn how to basically stop them sometimes, because sometimes it becomes overwhelming, and then I'm like, oh my god, like I gotta do this and I gotta do that, and I want to try this and want to try that, but I'm learning how to basically like just chill. I'll make a note of it and move on, because it's a lot, right? um we prefer, for introverts, silence is where the magic brews. But even in silence, sometimes we have to basically like just basically stop the constant churning, right? So I've learned how to guard my quiet time like it's some treasure that I found on the beach. When I disconnect from everything else, I reconnect with me. So I'm on vacation now, and one of the beautiful things that I love is waking up in the morning, going to watch the sunset, and just walking 3 miles on the beach. That's how I love to start my day, because it's quiet, not a lot of people are out there, and I tell myself, "Oh, this is all mine." After I get my 3 miles done, then I go in the beach and basically like just like just play around, enjoy, being in the water, being there alone. I'll take some, like I have my little personal photo shoot, and just enjoy that me time, right? Until it's time for me to come in and have breakfast with mom, and like do whatever else. But it's important to just know how to just stop, right? Even if you don't, you're not on vacation, you can even do it at home. Just find a quiet corner to just be, have some tea, read a book, look out the window, look at people, but you just disconnect and do nothing. In those moments of stillness, that's where the voice says, hey, remember that idea? And so if you ever see me just staring into space, trust me, I'm not zoning out. I'm brainstorming in stealth mode. So now, here's another big one. You do not have to earn rest. For the longest time, I treated rest like a prize. Like I had to do something. I had to be like really tight, like in a field to come in and rest. Like I have to earn it. Like I could only have this rest thing after I finish everything on my list for the day, as if there are more than 24 hours in a day for me, right? The truth is that list never ends. So now I rest because I need to, not because I've done enough to deserve it. If my eyes are heavy, I lie down. Sometimes I lie down with the computer and I force my eyes open like a little kid. But I'm learning how to basically allow the day to just end, right? If my eyes are heavy, I allow myself, or at least I am allowing myself to just chill, right? Because tomorrow's another day. Praise God. God willing. So when my body says pause, I do my best to listen. I've learned that sometimes the most spiritual thing that I can do is close my eyes and let the world run itself for a bit. I don't wait for permission to rest. I just rest. Period. Right. And the more I've practiced stillness, the more I've realized Stillness is strength. You have you ever noticed how calm people get, um, or yeah, how calm people hold their ground without saying much? That is power, and I'm learning how to do that. Like I'm learning how to just not say too much. Like depending on the person, depending on the situation, depending on how I feel, like I have learned how to say a lot without saying too much. Oh, by the way, today I'm wearing my t-shirt, always on mute. This is actually also a podcast that I have, which is always on mute podcast. So check me out there too. Anyway, when I'm still, I can hear God more clearly. I can hear myself more clearly. I don't have to rush to respond or move to just prove I'm doing something. Some of the biggest growth in my life has come from moments when I looked still on the outside, but inside I was evolving quietly, deeply, and just in a wonderful way. So yeah, doing nothing isn't really nothing. It is rest, it is healing, it is clarity. It's how we refuel for the next thing. So today, if your body says pause, please listen to it. If your mind says, I need a minute, give it 10. You don't need to justify rest or explain your stillness. You just need to own it. Because people doesn't come, because peace doesn't people, because peace doesn't come from the hustle, it comes from the hush. And if anyone asks what you're up to today, just smile and say, I'm busy minding my peace. Period. That's a t-shirt right there. Ooh, remind me, that's a t-shirt. Anyway, thank you for tuning in today for day 9, and I will see you tomorrow for day 10. Before I go, I'm going to remind you to please remember to get my book, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts. My book is available at societyofintroverts.com, Amazon, and everywhere books are sold online. Um, Also, yeah, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel so that you can continue to journey along with me for the next what is it, 14 days. I can't, I'm not counting, I'm on vacation. And it could be 14 days, or it could be, I'm telling myself 25 days, but I might go the full 50. Anyway, thank you for being here. In addition to subscribing, please comment below and let me know, like how you are minding your peace. And also like this video and share with someone who will find use of it. All right. So until tomorrow, please stay blissful, please stay still, and remember, your quiet is powerful. Take care.